No way.
You're live.
Nobody's having it. And welcome here after being muted and speaking down the microphone for the last 5 minutes. We're live.
We were actually amazing for the first 5 minutes as well.
Absolutely, we had some quality jokes there that we might show off again.
Oh. So referee Katrina White calls a 3-second violation against Limerick. Score is 12-8 here. UL have come out hot early.
Just a few technical hitches going on here, but we're ready to flow now for the rest of the game. We were saying earlier on, O'Shea's hit that's his third jump shot now from the baseline.
It's exceptionally high scoring so far. 24 points combined in the first 4 minutes of the game.
There's no letting up here from these baseline shots for UL.
Maynooth are in a diamond and one or a box and one, and UL have done a nice job exploiting the space in the corner. UL are playing a traditional 2-3 zone.
And Crow again. I think that's Keelan Crow's second three-pointer from the corner.
That's 19 points for UL in the first 4.5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's exceptional shooting. It's a good stand inside there by the big man, Thomas Walsh. As we have a timeout in the floor here. 5 minutes gone in the first quarter. It's 10 points Maynooth, 19 UL.
Corkery's length again, bothering the Maynooth guards on the perimeter.
Yeah. He's so smooth as well. It doesn't seem like anything phases him during games.
Good defense.
It was good D, yeah.
First sub in from Maynooth. Rory Carroll checks out. Iñaki Martinez checks in.
There's just a mistake on the score, so it's actually 21-10 to Maynooth. Once I figure out how to take
Big rebound
points
from
off,
Ger
I like
Sheehan
that.
there. So Maynooth are going to have to start getting to the basket at some stage. They've been settling a lot for early jumpers, and the UL guys have just been hoovering up those rebounds, and then that's allowed them to get out.
I don't think Keelan Crow's missed a shot yet. I think the length of UL is really paying off here as well, especially getting a hand in for contested shots.
They're doing a really nice job of playing in the gaps, you know, and making the Maynooth guys think a second before they move the basketball, and that second allows them to recover then and cover any of the shooters. And of course, then when the guards like Paddy have started to drive, the guys at the basket have slid their feet well.
Nice up and under move there by Paddy Sullivan. It was a well-needed basket there by Maynooth. They went dry for a long time.
Yeah, I think at that stage you're looking at when UL are hitting so many, you just have to cling on, and you need points from your big players. And Paddy stepped up there to kind of just keep them within touch and distance. Oh. Again, there you see Paddy just pushing the pace, understanding that their best chance of getting an easy look against the zone is to get up ahead of it instead of letting it set up and then trying to beat it when it's already in place.
We've got Shane O'Connell checking in for Tommy Walsh here. Paddy O'Sullivan at the line. There is no O in Paddy Sullivan. He's got plenty of O though himself. That's one of the really bad jokes we had earlier on, that when we were muted.
So that early pick and roll that caused trouble early on. Maynooth switched it that time, but they reversed the ball. And Mark O'Leary, Maynooth coach, will be disappointed with that defense. A straight line drive, right-handed down the lane.
Lovely pass there by Corkery. Finished off by Vititis.
Sullivan. 2 doesn't go.
Tom Vaughan from Maynooth checks in for Ger Sheehan.
O'Reilly uses the screen, moves inside, finds Hughes. Martinez to Vaughan. Stops on a tree, doesn't go.
So you've seen on the last possession where Maynooth were on offense, just a hesitation. Finn Hughes had a look on the wing, but hesitated and didn't take the jump shot. Then they looked to penetrate, and they penetrated 2 or 3 times without getting any real advantage.
Again, we've spoken about it already. 28 points with a minute and a half to go. The first quarter is fantastic scoring by UL. As we see, they make one of their first mistakes. An offensive foul on the moving screen.
Again, for Maynooth, it's just that split second of a delay where they're not in rhythm, not in stride.
Oh, and Corkery went for the big jam. Just missed it. Again, we've seen that little hesitation again. That should have been a quicker pass out to Paddy Sullivan.
And then Corkery's length then obviously gets a hand in, allows UL to set their defence up, and now Maynooth have to try and break them down again.
Jimmer O'Shea battles his way to 2 shots. We've got Rory Carroll checking into the game for Oisin O'Reilly here from Maynooth.
Maynooth will look to get the last shot here of the quarter. They probably need one here to to keep in touch and distance. 29 points put up by UL is very impressive in the first half. Mark O'Leary is maybe going to have to look at a change in defence. Big 3 there from Finn.
Yeah, that was a well-needed shot to go down for Maynooth.
Maybe slightly too early in that UL had got their own last shot off. Rory Carroll with a good contest.
So the second quarter is beginning here, 29-17 to UL after some hot shooting at the beginning for UL. Maynooth stuck with them for a little while.
it's just clear, you can see with the length of UL that there's such hesitation on the Maynooth guys. They played against man-to-man defense predominantly for the tournament, and the guys have been far more direct, whereas they're just a little bit hesitant right now.
Another big shot by Jeremy O'Shea. The only issue with some of his shots, his foot's on the line. He's shooting long twos instead of that three-pointer.
UL are controlling the tempo completely of the game. Two nice high pick and rolls there. They got to the free throw line, got to a nice spot and hit his jumper. Contrast that with Maynooth, who have, you know, 2 or 3 passes on the perimeter, get no advantage, and then are looking to force one up, maybe off a pump fake.
Yeah, Maynooth on defense, they seem to just happy to be going through the motions and not trying to look for any opportunities to try and double or jump into passing lanes. They kind of seem content right now, so they're going to need to change that to stay in the game.
It's like that's 2 shots that came in at the end of the 24 seconds, and you know the zone was never really manipulated. Yeah,
I don't think Maynooth had 2 shot clock violations the entire tournament, so it's really credit to actually UL's zone in there at the minute. It's quite long.
Luke McLaughlin checks in there from Sligo. Luke is really active, so maybe he can get in the passing lane and create some turnovers for the Maynooth team.
And Keelan Crowe was battling hard inside, just couldn't get these 2 shots to go down. As we see Paddy driving down the lane. Bit of a loose pass to Carroll. They still have it. And Paddy couldn't get his shot to drop either.
Oh. The key here for Maynooth is to just keep their composure. You know, UL have come out really hot and have hit, you know, everything basically from the outside. So they have to cling on here and make sure that they're within touch and distance when it gets down to the 4th. So just keeping that composure and running their stuff, trying to get some actions and get a little bit more towards the basket. That's the best defensive possession for Maynooth right there. Paddy went under the first high screen, so there was no advantage created, and then Luke was able to stay attached over the double.
Finds Carroll in the corner. Three rooms up.
Another contested shot from Maynooth. They really need to find opportunities to get easier looks at the basket than contested ones. So you see Paddy putting a bit of pace into this offense. Oh, he's just short with his layup. And Shane O'Connell with a big score.
It's a really good finish.
Yeah. Shane's played well this year in Division 1 in the men's for Limerick Celtics. He's quite a good athlete, so he can run the floor quite well. Oh, the big and one by Shane O'Connell, showing off his athleticism again, sprinting down the floor.
It was very clever from Corkery. You know, easy in that situation to have an advantage and try and force one up, but he was patient, seen the defense coming, and then just dropped it off for a nice easy 2. Big 3 from Paddy there, but again, you see they get down to late in the shot clock. Guys are catching the ball, having a dribble, having a think, rather than playing free, you know. So the zone is really stifling the Maynooth offense, which has been so, I suppose, prolific throughout the tournament.
O'Connell moves inside.
And those are the kind of ones that go against you when you're trailing. You know, good defense by number 12 from Maynooth, Tom Vaughan, but unable to come up with the defensive rebound.
Carroll comes away with it. Carroll rims out.
Referee Katrina White thought about calling that one. Let it go.
It's good finish inside there by the smaller Rory Carroll. He took good contact there off Dermot. Still managed to finish it off.
Again, another right-hand drive, putting Maynooth under pressure. Right-hand drive to the middle, and then he gets an easy spot for his jump shot.
Finn Hughes has been notably short and a lot of jump shots as well. But case of fatigue over a long weekend, Brian.
Yeah, lots of minutes played. You know, Maynooth, nearly all of their games were, you know, right down to the wire. Their first game they played Blanche, and it was really close. And every other game after that was maybe 1 or 2 possession games.
Yeah.
Inside to Hughes.
Nice pass from Paddy up the court.
They're exactly the cheap little scores that Maynooth need to just keep themselves in touch and distance here.
They're just going to need to defend at a higher rate than they have right now. And again, a right-hand drive down the middle. You know.
Yeah, he closed out to his left hand and made it very easy for him.
But like, I mean, when you're trailing by 16, you know, UL have 40 points in 17 minutes. And for Maynooth to get back into this, they're going to have to get some stops. You know, the offense will come when they'll hit a few shots, because they'll regress back to their normal shooting percentages. But I mean, at this pace, UL are on. I don't think anybody is going to keep up with them.
The score on the screen's actually wrong. It's actually 42-24. Lovely little step through there from Paddy.
And again, even though that the shot missed, it's a right-hand one down the middle at the basket. You know, if you're playing the percentages, those ones are going to put you under pressure, either by a foul or they're going to make the shot. And again, another one of those ones that goes against you when you're trailing and you're feeling that pressure that everything has to be perfect, and You just bobble it out of bounds. You know, a hand goes in and you just fumble it off your knee.
Good defense inside by Ger Sheehan. I believe it is his 7th INTERVARSITIES tournament and his final one.
7 for Jerry, yeah. A Maynooth stalwart at this stage.
Absolutely, yeah. Slight mix up there with the lines. Play on.
Sullivan on the point for Maynooth. Hughes. For three.
It's a big shot from Maynooth there to put a little bit of pressure now on Limerick.
So Mark O'Leary is going to be pretty annoyed with that defence.
Yeah,
Corkery drove right hand down the lane, and Luke in the corner helped off one pass away. You know, it's an easy one. Whereas if he stayed at home, Corkery didn't have too many options.
And they're again giving up another easy one. No, but it's missed inside. Yeah, Maynooth would be really upset with giving up that 3-pointer, especially after getting it down to 13. You know, you're
Just
in
when you
touching
have that
distance.
little bit of momentum going,
Yeah.
and then just such a simple error.
And again, another lapse in concentration. Almost give up the 2 points. So we have a minute to go now in the second quarter.
Sullivan to McLaughlin. 2 doesn't go. Dunn takes the rebound.
Again, a tough shot, contested shot.
See Finn Hughes coming down in the break with his right hand. Looks for the kick out. Again, Maynooth showing hesitancy the whole way through that offense. As UL hold for the last shot. 16 seconds to go. Foul inside on Tommy Walsh for Limerick. We've got 10 seconds on the clock. Maynooth ball. Substitution on the floor as well for Limerick. Shane O'Connell checking back in. Tommy Walsh. Finn Hughes just misses the shot on the buzzer there. It's 45 points to 29 to UL. Join us back for the second half. And we're back here for the second half to see if Maynooth can put some sort of comeback on. It's not really going to happen if they don't waken up in the defensive end.
ULE 47 against Maynooth 29.
It's a credit to UL as well. They are playing a nice style of basketball. They're bringing the players out and they're finding little gaps.
Absolutely. I mean, they've exploited any little mistake that the Maynooth guys have made on defense. Like, that was a really nice high-low from the pick and roll there. And then their zone is really effective. You know, they're long. They're forcing Maynooth into dribbling the ball against the zone. They're forcing them into pump fakes and pass fakes. Like, if you look at the Maynooth guys, there's very rarely where they get 2 or 3 passes in a row without a dribble or without a hesitation.
Just got wrong score there for UL, so it's actually 47 points for UL. I think it was a missed call there inside on Jamer O'Shea. But Maynooth will take it if they need it. Oh, it just rims out.
Paddy does a nice job of getting over the screens there. But Finn allows O'Shea to get way too deep inside.
That's the exactly type of shot Finn shoots for Dublin Lions all year long. Quick transition, pull up. He's quite adept at that shot.
Nice move from Dylan Corkery.
The only thing Maynooth can't do here is trade baskets. They really need to get stops, especially after a make.
See, even on that make there, Oisín, he's a good shooter, and he took a couple of seconds. He thought about it,
Yeah.
And in those ones he'd normally be shooting in rhythm.
Yeah.
So they're just a little bit hesitant now because of the zone.
We see a double foul, yeah. And again, Oisín's shot as well was one of those ones that the coaches don't like, standing on the line, shooting a long two. That was good defense there by Oisín O'Reilly, denying the ball in.
Another right-hand drive to the middle. Another foul called. Maynooth are already in team fouls now, so their next foul will put Limerick
7
on the,
minutes to go
on
as
the
well.
line. Yeah. And there's another reach in. No need for, Crow now will just go to the line.
Makes it very difficult for Maynooth now to stay with the same intensity on defense, trying to get in in the passing lanes and try and put pressure on the ball handlers.
You know, that's a frustrating thing, I suppose, from a Maynooth point of view. Mark O'Leary would be pretty disappointed. You know, they're within touching distance. They're right there, and then, you know, they put themselves, you know, in a more difficult situation by putting themselves in foul trouble with such a long time left.
Oisin O'Reilly called bank.
And there we see the foul trouble coming to hurt Maynooth.
Again, yeah.
They'll walk the full length of the floor and just go to the free throw line.
I think Jared's picked up a couple of fouls here as well. It could be.
Again, it's very tough. You know, it's a long weekend. Guys are pretty fatigued.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're liable to make more mistakes.
A few people could be regretting their off-court antics as well. Or maybe not.
Another deflection for the UL zone. Leads for a transition opportunity. Corkery tries the pass underneath, didn't come out. Paddy goes to the basket. Nice reverse layup. He's going to get the foul.
It's exactly what they need. Stops and scores. Especially easy ones. It's unlike Paddy to drop a free throw short.
UL lead 53 pace 41.
Jim Roche missing a line drive from the top. You'd have expected him to make that. Lovely drive and dish by Paddy. Rory Carroll. Very good 3-point shooter for Cubs. Couldn't knock that one down.
O'Shea.
It's probably not one that Paddy would have taken in normal circumstances. Maybe getting a little bit frustrated with missing the free throw on the last one. I mean, Maynooth are, you know, they're down 12, so they're right there. It's just the next run. They need the next run, or they need to keep in touching distance and make that run in the fourth.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, they've been fortunate enough there. UL have missed a couple of ones that they should have made. The three at the top from Jim O'Shea would be one that he normally makes.
Substitutions coming in. You know, it's midway through the third quarter, so there's loads of time for Maynooth to just to chip away slowly at this lead. And they're going to do so here at the line.
Two from Paddy. It's back to 10.
Yeah, it's the lowest it's been since early in the first quarter.
Well, you look at the score that UL have now. You know, it's at 53, and there's 5 minutes into the second half. At that point in the first half, UL had 24 points or something.
Yeah, they finished the first quarter actually 28 points. That's what they finished the first. So they definitely slowed down a little bit.
It's a big shot.
Yeah. It's a big shot there by All-Star. It was just announced at half-time, Keelan Crowe.
But again, it comes from a right-hand drive down the middle, forcing the help, and then it kicks to the guy in the corner.
Oh, big answer by Paddy Sullivan. And again, first time in a long time, it's down to 9 points. Again, good defense by Paddy, chasing everything down.
He's got to just stay in front here.
Hughes is pulling up in the transition.
Those are the kind of ones that were falling yesterday all day for Finn.
Just a slight mistake there on the shot clock. We're just going to get it cleared up. It should probably stay a UL basketball. Yeah, it does. We've time out in the floor. Maynooth brought themselves back into this 9-point game. 3 minutes to go in the third. And we're back here, 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's actually a Maynooth ball. The referees deemed there was no possession, so it was a shot clock violation.
It's big 3 minutes here for Maynooth. If they can keep it at single digits or maybe chip at it a little bit more, you know, they give themselves a good chance in the fourth quarter. Whereas if UL can extend it out a bit.
Oh, and just as we say, big three to bring it to 6 points. Luke McLaughlin. This we see now what UL come with answers. As you can see, Maynooth are definitely scrambling after any loose ball.
Rips out. McLaughlin takes the rebound.
And McLaughlin, that's the type of score you can actually get from him. He's very, very unorthodox, but it works.
There's a notable difference in the intensity that Maynooth are playing with on the defensive end. You know, they're fighting through screens now. You know, they're getting through the contact. Where in the first half, you know, they were very passive.
Keelan Crowe gets his own rebound. Corkery with the drive. Back to Crowe. Looks to hit a wide open shot. No, it's short. And Paddy Sullivan coming down the middle. Oh, lovely 1-2 step inside.
Paddy's had a super tournament, probably freed up from his, Super League coach who doesn't let him do anything.
No. Even it's tough here for Limerick at the minute. Even shots that you think their best players should be making are missing at the minute. Shane O'Connell with a nice basket just to settle UL down, bring it back to a 4-point game.
And interestingly there from, Maynooth got that momentum going and maybe they turned the ball over, had a couple of wild ones where, when the momentum was going with you, that's the time to kind of make the simple play, and then you kind of get to the next phase, get to the next part. They just got a little bit excited maybe.
We see Tom Vaughan checking out for Maynooth. Bit of a leg injury. Ger Sheehan's back in. Finn Hughes goes to the basket. Actually looks like it's UL's turn now to be a bit hesitant on offense. Dylan Dunn doesn't get the ring.
Big shot.
Paddy Sullivan went coast to coast there, but Finn Hughes cleaned it up.
Just like that, 57, pace 57.
It's Paddy Sullivan's third foul. It's big in the context of the game, as Corkery is the guy that makes UL tick. So Paddy has done a decent job there for the last, I suppose, since they've gone to their man in curbing that. But that third foul now could maybe limit him from being as aggressive on the top.
Makes it hard him going over the top for sure. And Paddy was arguing that the screen wasn't set right. As you see here, we've got 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Finn Hughes in the ball. Paddy's free in the side. Just short. We've got 2 seconds. Corkery throws it up. Too hard. And after a great quarter there by Maynooth, it's 59-57 for University of Limerick. Join us back for the fourth quarter. So we're back here for the final quarter of the men's B final. UL had a nice cushion going into the third quarter, but Maynooth put on a good showing. Getting themselves back into it.
There's the impact of that third foul, Luke has switched on to Dylan, and Dylan goes right hand to the basket there. That's 2 tough shots for Maynooth to start. Luke's 3 on the wing, having not gotten anywhere near the
Yeah,
key.
there was no penetration at
Yeah,
all.
and then Paddy takes one, maybe a little frustrated at the first shot. Right hand down the lane, but never again got inside the key. It's the same call that referee Katrina White called on Paddy Sullivan on the last one. That's the way she's looking at that screen. She's thinking that it's set. The Maynooth guys are feeling that it's the other way.
We had a change up in defence there. We had Luke picking up Dylan this time. Same outcome for Dylan, another 2 points. Finn Hughes was running away. He was thinking that was actually good. It looked good all the way.
It's a big decision for the Maynooth guys there. Does he leave Paddy off Dylan for too long? The game can be gone from them.
Yeah.
Or if you put Paddy back onto him and he picks up a fourth, then you're in big trouble.
Lovely use of the backboard there by Paddy.
Veteran move from Paddy.
Absolutely veteran move. He's easily probably the most experienced player playing in all of the varsities, playing for years in the Super League. Won a lot of trophies. As O'Shea hits a big 3 in the wing.
It's a 7-point game now. After that 3 there from O'Shea. They manipulated the defense very nice. It's just a break and play while we wait for somebody to go and retrieve the basketball.
Yeah, it's very far away. Rory's gone. He might be back in a few minutes.
Another right-hand drive down the middle there for UL. Doesn't result in a score, but it was a really good look.
Good strong move inside by Finn Hughes. Just couldn't get it to finish. As we see another fantastic pass wrapped around by Dylan Corkery into Tommy Walsh, who gets fouled, goes to the line for 2.
And the difference there, I suppose, is that Walsh showed great desire to get to there. He ran past Finn Hughes to get ahead of him, to put the defense under major pressure then. Finn maybe a little bit, gassed from the last couple of forays to the basket.
Yeah, and himself and Paddy, the only 2 from Maynooth, hasn't checked out of the game. So the fatigue is definitely in their legs at this stage, but 7 minutes to go, they really need to push themselves. It's a long 3 by Paddy Sullivan. He must have been a good couple of 2 steps out, but good use of the backboard there, Brian. Did you teach him that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Bank is open on Sunday. Big response. Big response. Pushes it back out to an 8-point game. Martinez is in for Maynooth. Walsh done a nice job clearing the boards there.
Here's Jermut's favourite shot down the middle. He really is automatic from the top of the 3-point line. Timeout's called by Maynooth. We've got 6:22 to go in the fourth quarter. We're back here, 6 minutes to go in the final quarter. Maynooth ball, Paddy Sullivan on his side. Hughes shoots a highly contested shot, very ill-advised shot there, Brian, yeah?
It's just one of those ones again that, you know, it seems like Maynooth in the last few minutes have been getting a little bit desperate. They're shooting threes. They haven't got to the basket again. And ones where, you know, they could have got that shot at any stage in the shot clock, and they shot it after 6 or 8 seconds without making the defense work at all.
And there was a big contrast there of the tough shot being shot by Maynooth, and then the easy drive by Corkery down the middle, finished.
Yeah, I think Mark is going to have to switch Paddy back on to Corkery, even though now it's probably a more difficult job. Corkery's seen the ball go in the basket a few times, so, you know, he's confident.
Yeah. Paddy done a good job on him there. He forced him into shooting a long three, went under the screen. Paddy's used that little jump stop step through really well today.
Paddy's got good footwork, in fairness.
Yeah.
He's an extremely skillful player, you know. And they needed that basket. Straight to, oh.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that was a foul or a travel or something. Corkery goes to the basket and gets fouled.
And those are the little things. They probably got away with a travel there, you know. But they came up with the loose ball when it was for 50-50 for both teams. And then Corkery, obviously, nice split of the two defenders and gets to the basket.
Yeah. Limerick don't seem to be settling for as many long shots as what Maynooth are, so they're forcing their way to the line, getting the easy ones.
It's 12 points again. Maynooth need that little run now. It's kind of now or never for Maynooth.
Yeah.
UNE 76 makes 64. Carroll puts her on for three.
So you see, there's an example. Martinez penetrated baseline, got a nice advantage there. Flipped it to Finn. Finn should have just taken the jumper. Instead, he drives back into traffic, back into two defenders, and it ends up in a forced situation where he's kicking it out to Rory.
Yeah, and he's having to shoot that late in the clock as well. As we see, Jeremy O'Shea, another shot from the top of the key. He's beginning to put this game almost out of sight by Maynooth.
But again, there it's Corkery causing all the trouble there. He gets downhill, forces the rotation, and then it's back to O'Shea for the wide open one.
Tommy Walsh was battling away inside. He almost come up with the offensive board. Paddy Sullivan coming down the middle.
That's
definitely looked like a blocking foul for me. Wasn't called. Rory Carroll. Shot is just long. So again, now we've 3.5 minutes to go. 14-point game. Maynooth needs stop after stop. Again,
Limerick, right hand to the middle. They get into the second line of the defence. You know, when they're right at the rim, and it's an easy call for the referee to make.
Yeah, it seems to be the same mistake over and over again.
Big push now from Maynooth. Riley back in and Jershean back in for the last 3:21. Credit to UL though. Obviously, they rode that Maynooth rising there in the third quarter, and Corkery really stamped his authority there at the start of the fourth. You know, extending it out there, and now it's a 16 point game, and they look comfortable.
Yeah, Corkery and O'Shea, especially in the last couple of shots, has really pulled that lead way out of sight from Maynooth here. Unless something miraculous can happen for them.
Matthew Deeney is checked in from Maynooth. And you see now it's Oisin O'Reilly, who's a good defender. He's guarding Corkery now.
As we see Paddy pushing the tempo here, he's not gonna give up too easily. He forces his way to the line to get 2 points. It's exactly what they need, is stopping the clock, getting points on the board, and try and force Limerick into quicker shots on the other end. Try and get that rebound and again push the tempo.
Maynooth might look to extend the pressure further up the court now at this stage. You know, with 15 in it, 2.5 to go. Maybe that's why Matthew Deeney is on the floor. He's a very athletic player.
Again, you can probably the sign of fatigue there. Paddy's missed a few free throws today that he normally doesn't miss at all. 15-point game with
straight line drive again.
Yeah.
This time it was to the baseline. Deeney was trying to do the right job there by forcing him away from the middle, but opened up himself up a little bit too much. And again, another easy one at the basket.
Maynooth looking here for a second chance on this offense. A lot of dribbling on the side. Paddy Sullivan showing why he was an all-star today over the weekend.
Again, Corkery gets all the way to the rim. He gets all the way to the rim. Sees the defense rotate and then kicks it all the way out.
Yeah.
Paddy Sullivan takes a seat on the sideline there as Colin Farrell checks in. And Brian Monaghan also in.
Yeah, with a minute to go, all in all, Limerick have been, absolutely have been the better team today.
And again, you have to credit them. You know, when the momentum was all against them and they had lost that cushion that they had, they were able to fight back for it. You know.
Yeah.
And their zone is really effective, and Corkery has been, masterful in the pick and roll, getting to the basket.
Yeah.
That foul on Paddy Sullivan on the top of the screen right at the end of the third quarter probably had a big impact on the game. As I said, it moved Paddy off Corkery, and that allowed UL to get to the basket a little bit easier and manipulate the defense.
Yeah, as we see a lot of substitutions coming into the game to finish it off. As Ger Sheehan gets a block inside. Shane O'Connell with the right hand drive down the middle. Brian, where have we seen that today? Goes to the line for two.
It's been a good tournament for both teams. UL, this is a good achievement. They've as you said earlier on, they've a really nice style of basketball. They move the ball well. They spread the floor. You know, Shea is a tough matchup because he can play inside and out, and then Corkery along with Crow is a really good tandem, you know, on the wing and at the point.
Yeah, it was good to see the two universities as well playing without scholars. You know, we're not saying scholars is a bad thing, but it's great to see these teams, you know, fight all the way through to the final and get there, you know, with what they have here.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, from a Maynooth point of view, they've had a really good tournament as well. Lots of close games. You know, they didn't get any comfortable games, so it shows how close everybody was on that side of things, that you had so many people. You had so many people, so many teams rather, that had the chance to make it to the final here.
As we see now, the crowds are starting to come in now for the women's A final, which will be coming up at 2 o'clock, another about 45 minutes or so. In that final, we have a strong DCU side, looking to go for maybe three in a row, 4 in a row possibly, against a Trinity team that's done well in the tournament as well to get this far. As we see, UL now are champions of the men's B INTERVARSITIES. And if you stay on with us, we'll have the presentations coming as we stay live.